Samuel A. Maverick owned a lot of cattle, and he let them roam about Texas without a brand or identification mark seared in their skins. Samuel was a maverick for going against the common practice of tracking his animals, and his last name went on to become a part of the English language, both as an adjective and a noun in the 19th century. Good morning, everybody. Is it still morning, though? I'm Chef Amrita Raichand, and I would like to thank TEDxBocconiUMumbai for inviting me here to speak amongst all you budding stars. Though I have to confess, when I heard that the broad topic for today is mavericks and misfits, it really got me thinking, am I a maverick or a misfit? Well, I will share some aspects of my life and my journey with all of you, and maybe leave it up to you to decide whether I'm one or not. Being from a family of overachievers, I've always strived to excel in everything that I've done. And I probably would have followed my brothers into finance had destiny not played a role by opening different opportunities for me. While I was in my first year at St. Xavier's College, I had taken up a double major in economics and commerce. But little did I know that I will get spotted by an advertising agency, which led me to bagging my first major commercial on TV, Pond's face cream. That particular advertisement as a young and fresh face got me noticed, and many Bollywood agencies started calling me for auditions. I'm pretty sure had I gone for at least some of them, it would have paved a very, very successful path for me in the film industry. I didn't go for them. There were two reasons. A, my family was pretty conservative back then with a small town value system, and as you can imagine, they were absolutely dead against me prancing around in movies. And B, my family and their views is very important to me. However, I did enjoy acting. I absolutely loved the thrill of being on the silver screen, and I loved the food that was served on the sets of those filmmakers and the ad filmmakers. I mean, you're talking about Chinese, chaat, Bengali cuisine, the Muttu Swami, the works, guys. Yes, I was always a foodie. So I made an amended deal with my family. I told them I will not join the film industry, but would try my luck in ads that required a young mom's role. Obviously, none of them had a problem with that offer. The outsiders, though, did wonder what a girl of 19 was doing playing the role of a mum. Some even laughed, but I carried on going for every single audition in that genre, triumphant in most of them, and I must admit, unabashedly minting pots of money along the way. A couple of years later, I was signed on as the brand ambassador of a big home appliance company, portraying the role of a young mum of 2 kids. My face was splashed all over TV screens, all over billboards. Yes, I became famous. And yes, that day, the laughing stopped. So did I rebel? Did I break the norms and go against the tide by doing exactly the opposite of what any young girl with dreams of the silver screen does? Yes, of course I did. But guess what? That rebellious girl went on to become the celebrated household name and the quintessential mommy in the advertising world. Life and modeling went on, and at age 26, I opted for an arranged marriage and chose to live in a joint family. Again, eyebrows went up. Why would a successful girl like me go for a boy chosen by her mother and then want to live with his parents? Mind you, they all said, mother-in-law can never be a mother, what are you doing? Yes, I knew that I was going absolutely against the thought process of any young woman of my age and time back then, but I was hell-bent on proving them all wrong. And frankly, it was not just a point that I wanted to make. I genuinely wanted a big family and truly believed that the little everyday joys a joint family can bring to you cannot be replaced by a lonely, selfish, albeit a very successful private life. Yes, I went against the latest trend of living in a nuclear family, of having arranged marriage, yet here I am, 19 years later, Still together, touch wood, with my hubby and my in-laws, and it took me a lot to convince them not to come here, otherwise they would be sitting right here on the front row, clapping the loudest, even when it was not due. It's strange, I can speak in front of a lot of people, but when it comes to my own family, I kind of get conscious. After 4 years of my marriage, my little Agastya was born. And when that happened, I decided to take a sabbatical from work. By then, guys, work was not just TV commercials. My family, my husband, they were a lot more accommodating of my acting desire. So modeling led to acting. And believe it or not, I actually dabbled in movies. I did a few big budget movies, some very long appearances in absolutely brain-freezing soap operas on TV. I won't say I enjoyed all of them, but yes, my hands were full with a lot of work. But at that point, all I wanted in my hands was my little baby Agastya. Everyone said, you are at the peak of your career. Taking such a long break will be suicidal. I had seen my contemporaries get back to work within 3 months post their delivery, hitting the gym with a vengeance to get back to shape. But, I was not ready to do that. I knew that perhaps that is the right thing to do so that I'm not forgotten, but when have I ever done the done thing? Becoming a mother to my beautiful baby boy changed my life in more ways than one, making him my utmost priority. I woke up to many responsibilities, especially when it came to feeding him. Now, my son was born with a palate just like mine, with a clear distinction of tasteful and tasteless food. I mean, sorry, but mediocrity is just not acceptable in our lives when food is concerned. And that's also a Punjabi trait, if you know what I mean. However, unfortunately or fortunately, that also meant that I had to put my best foot forward while feeding him. Luckily, my mother was a great cook, and I was blessed with her genes. I had cooked my first meal at age 8 and have been cooking since then. I had also gone and set up the cafeteria in my boarding school, the Lawrence School Sana up in Himachal Pradesh. So no, cooking was not the tough part at all. It was cooking right for my child, which was the tough part. It was cooking tasty for my child. That was the tough part. It was cooking for my child in a way that meal times were not war zones. In fact, they were a happy playground, an experience that he would remember after every meal. So even if I must say so myself, after many experiments, many trials and errors, a lot of research, and I must add a lot of tears, I believe I finally cracked the code. Every dish I fed my child was not only wholesome, but also delicious and equally well presented, offering him the same dignity that we offer to adults while enticing them to eat the food that we cook for them. Needless to say, everything was gobbled up in no time and with a smile. Anyway, as if destiny was waiting right round the corner, while I was immersed in my cooking escapades with my son, I got offered a TV show dedicated just to cooking for kids, Mummy Ka Magic. It was as if God had heard me. If there was something that I really wanted to do at that stage of my life was to cook for kids. I mean, I really wanted to help all the mothers out there after having struggled myself as a new mom. And probably this was all that I could have asked for. This show became a labor of love. This show was truly a labor of love where I would share with parents tips and tricks of turning junk to jewels while feeding their so-called fussy eaters. They say when your intention is honest, good things always follow. Mummy Ka Magic struck a chord with audiences all around the world. I mean, people started writing to me, gathering around me at events or wherever they would spot me, and they would tell me how their lives had changed with happier children around them thanks to my recipes. That's it. That was my cue. That's when I took a conscious decision to become a mommy chef. Of course, my husband did a double take. You mean you want to be a chef who's a mommy who wants to open a restaurant or cook in a restaurant? That's what you mean, right? I said, no. I want to be a chef who teaches families how to cook delightful food for their children, who advocates that healthy need not be boring, tasteless, or downright inedible, and that to nourish your child, you don't need to hire an expensive cook. You can do it all by yourself at home. My husband, Rahul Raichand, very forward-thinking, highly confident, and a great dad to my son, has always been extremely supportive and encouraged me to experiment with any new role that came my way. So over one of our morning walks, when I conveyed to him that to further my skills, I wanted to go to a culinary institute abroad for formal training, his reaction was, "When should I get your tickets booked for?" Off I went to Singapore for my advanced culinary course at Sunrise, the Global Chef Academy, leaving behind my 4-year role for the first time. But hey, that's where the advantage of a joint family helped me. There was no looking back from that point onwards. Post my return from Singapore, I joined a 5-star hotel to get hands-on commercial kitchen training as well. Since health was my main focus in food, I added to my repertoire a certificate, a course in gastronomy and nutrition from Cordon Bleu. I've always believed that to excel in any field, you need to gather as much knowledge as you possibly can. Armed with that knowledge, my commitment, and dedication towards achieving my goal, I was thoroughly enjoying this new journey and was extremely grateful for being able to connect positively with parents who were grappling with the guilt of not being able to figure out the right child-food equation. Soon, adulation came in from all fronts. With all humility, I must share with you that I went on to win the award for the best cookery show in India by Indian Television Awards. Besides many others, I have endorsed more than 60 brands as a celebrity chef, including today's. This will be my 3rd TED Talk, and I was surprised yet humble to be featured in Tatler Asia Edition magazine as one of the 7 cooking hostesses across the globe, alongside renowned names like Rachel Ray, Nigella Lawson, etc. So despite not being a restaurant chef, I have officially been a part of the food industry for the last 13 years, and I'm proud to call myself a celebrity chef. My unique love language is food served up at home, cooked up with love, and shared over joyful company of friends and family. Yes, somehow the humble dishes made at home gain a lot more respect at a restaurant, but that's okay. I truly believe that good food comes from a good heart, whether it's served at home or in a restaurant. My food, though different, finds love and appreciation from not just people who taste it, but also from people who visually experience it through television and social media. That's my biggest reward. And this exciting, unique world of food is where I belong. So while we part, I leave you with this. Be open to new experiences in life, even if they are based on, or rather not based on set rules or norms. You never know where destiny will take you. And when you're on that untrodden path, don't let anyone deter you. Yes, several obstacles will come your way, but once you set your mind to it, all you need is passion to be your only companion, to dance through them all in the journey towards your goal. So put on a brave front and try something new, something exciting. Who knows, you might just find your greatness along the way. And finally, coming to the question that I started out with. Am I a misfit because I did not open a restaurant and become a chef in the traditional way? Or am I a maverick for going against the norms by amalgamating my 2 passions of cooking and entertainment to fulfill my dreams and reach my goal? Well, I have my answer. Do you? Thank you.